Hi guys, I'm Matt from UKhammocks. Today we're going to look at my kind of updated cook set that I've been carrying for the past couple of weeks. Certain bits have changed, the pots have changed, the stove's changed. So I'm playing around with different bits and pieces, and I think I'm kind of set on something I quite like at the minute. It seems to work well for me. So it's all enclosed within a little Spinn Bag stuff sack, and it's all kind of held together by the pot cozies. So I'll just ditch those two cozies over to one side. So the main pot itself is a Snow Peak 900 titanium pots. The lid is the lid from Mini Design, which has got a Refectix top on. I do like the Snow Peak lid with the frying pan, but it's kind of unnecessary kit. I never use it for a cooking pot, although the lid works well as a lid. It's just unnecessary size and bulk really for what I use it for. All I needed really was a lid that I can, stop losing heat from. So in the top is a pot stand. This is one of the folding pot stands from Mini Design. You kind of pop your stove in the middle there and sit your pan on top, and it works really well. I like it better than the hardware cloth ones he does, just because it's not quite as messy. There's not many sharp bits that catch stuff on. Inside is my base plate. My stove sits on. Carbon felt windscreen. This is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't burn. It's very light. You can pick your pot up with it when it's hot. You can hold it to eat it. It is brilliant. One of the best purchases, I think. $10. I don't know how much stuff. How much this actually cost to buy on the roll. I imagine it's fairly expensive. In the UK, I've had absolutely no hope whatsoever trying to find out anything like it. But that's well worth it. And if I need to, I can cut a strip off and use it inside any of my wick stoves. So there's the pot. Next thing is my little Foster's cup with a lid. The lid, again, it's not really that needed. I just kind of carry it out of habit, I think, but it's very rare that I do use it. But in the colder months, I carry a Cozy with this and the lid, and obviously that keeps your brew warmer for longer. So that's maybe something that we could ditch. And all that's in here is a little lighter and the Mini Atomic little Red Bull can stove with the thumb screw. I think this, obviously you can have a look. I'm sure you've seen these before. With the jets in, you just unscrew it quite a few times, fill it up, little bit of fuel on the priming wick on the outside, and let it go. I really can do, I don't know, say 500 ml of water in that Snow Peak pot, which will do me, majority of dehydrated meals that I'll make up myself or I'll buy, with a little bit left for a brew or whatever. Maybe 6-7 minutes with a little bit of fuel left to spare. So it works really well. It's got the carbon felt in, which on some occasions I regret having it put in, because obviously if you don't use all your fuel, you could snuff this out and drain the fuel out, although it would be a bit messy. You would be able to preserve a bit more fuel, whereas the carbon felt kind of stores the fuel in there. But there has been occasions when you knock stuff, and obviously this won't spill if it's got the carbon felt inside, so there's pluses to both, I think. But I'm really happy with this stove. I've got quite a lot of his stoves now. In fact, I've got quite a lot of different people's stoves. I think Mini Design for me has kind of headed up the the revolution of alcohol stoves, but there's so many others. There's Smoke Heater 908, batch stoves, self stoves. There's loads of different ones, and I think no matter where you go now, you're going to be pretty happy. Just depends what you want to pay and what kind of thing you want in. I really like the wick stoves, as I've said before, but for having to carry the extra weight of that stove, you still have to carry a pot stand of some sort. You've got the Mini Elite, which is a great stove, but mine's kind of warped a little bit, and I'm a bit dubious about taking it on a longer trip with my only cooking pot, only cooking stove, sorry. So for me, this one's the one that's got it at the minute. So that's it. That's my cook set. As I've mentioned before in other videos, I use a Reflectix sit pad normally as my cooking area. It keeps anything away from the ground if I've got kit nearby, and then I can put my little heat reflector base plate, vapor barrier, whatever you want to call it, on the bottom. It just stops any more scorching, melt my little pad. But yeah, I'll come back to you with any other updates that I get, anything that I change out. I think the Snow Peak was a good move. I had the 12cm Musa pots, which are great. They're aluminium, they're a little bit heavy, and I didn't like the handle, and I'm not into butchering kit. You know, I think the craze now is people cutting the handles off, taking the rivets out and welding them up. And for me, I like this one. I actually quite like having a handle, but I don't like having the handle out permanently. For the Snow Peak that, you know, folds away, you can sit inside its pot cozy. Does the trick, you know, like I say, for everything that I wanted it to do. So to pack it all away, I get my Foster's pot and I wrap the Foster's pot in the wick windscreen. Vaporizer sits in there, all slides inside the pot. The pot stand then goes in the top. The lid goes upside down. It all lines up, and there's a little hole cut in my cozy there, so my handles can come out the side. Lid goes on top. And then it all just sits inside this little stuff sack. I think the weight of this, when I weighed it, was around 300 grams, maybe a little bit less, 290, 300. So it's a fairly light cook set, but it's a pretty comprehensive one. I mean, you could go ditch the cup, you know, if you didn't want to drink too many hot brews, or you could suffer and drink out of your big Snow Peak pot. So I could save a little bit of weight there. But I actually quite like having the little Foster's pot, because in the morning, if all I want is a cup of coffee, I don't need to worry about heating up the, you know, the Snow Peak. I put the little Foster's pot on the top, and I just heat my brew up in the cup I'm going to drink it out of. So for me, you know, it kind of works for both reasons. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you in another video. Stay safe on the trail, and we'll speak soon.